That's just two examples of places that we've gone, and just the demand is, we can't even keep up with it, and there's just so much need in the community. So that's some of the things that really drives us. Las Vegas, again, this is a place, actually Las Vegas actually has a burgeoning tech hub. A lot of people don't know about it, but yeah, with Zappos in downtown Las Vegas, there's really a hub there and also a need. So this is another one of our chapters. And of course, New York. We just did one class in New York so far. We did this one at NYU in the last summer in August. And we just kind of slid in because we were already in New York, because we already know that when we really, really go to New York, the demand will be hard to keep up with because of all the different boroughs. But this was also one of our most successful classes. And this one has been updated for a while. But when we updated this last, which was in, this is actually in Oakland, we had about 700 girls as of end of August. But then we had a couple more classes in Atlanta, so we're at about 850 girls for 2012. And we're probably about a fourth of that by the end of this month with Atlanta, just with Atlanta and Memphis alone. So lots of work to do. This one doesn't even show, this just goes into some statistics, but this doesn't show our international, we launched in South Africa last year with ThoughtWorks in their Johannesburg office, and we're hoping to go back there as well. So that just shows you some of the things we've done. One of the things we want to do this year, and we want volunteers to help us, is really to build out the curriculum. As I said, last year we spent most of our time doing a lot of CSS, HTML, web making classes. We did robotics. We did mobile applications. What else did we do? We did game building. How can I forget that? That's one of our signature classes that we do, is a game challenge that starts in a couple of weeks. But we really want to expose the girls to every facet of technology. So be that mobile app development, be that robotics, be that web making, be that what we call core programming, Python, Java. We want to introduce them to them all, and we have them divided in pillars. So that's some of our focus this year, is to really build out that curriculum and offer a broad array of classes so that the girls can find something that they really love and that can help them to stay in the space. For 2013, we're looking at focusing on 7 chapters. San Francisco and Oakland is one, the Bay Area chapter. Then New York, Chicago, Detroit, Las Vegas, Memphis, Atlanta. That's in New York. Did I say New York? That's
Philadelphia.
Well, this summer. But she's from Philly, girl here. But those 7 chapters will have ongoing programs. So the goal is in the chapters to do a minimum of 1 class a quarter, but because we're in the Bay Area, when we put the schedule up, you'll see that we have more than 1 class a quarter because we're in the Bay Area, and that's what we do. So we need a lot of help on putting those classes together. And one of the things that was very successful for us last year was Summer of Code. So in the summer of 2012, we set a goal that we're going to go take BGC to all these different cities. We wanted to reach about 200 girls, and we went from city to city. And that's really how we pivoted into this chapter model. But we want to do that again because it was extremely successful, but new cities and new places where you may not find tech office. So looking at places like Kentucky, looking at places like South Florida, we're going to Miami, looking at places like the Carolinas, looking at places like New Orleans. Those are Minneapolis is another one that we have started conversations with for Summer of Code 2013. So we're just laying that on top of the schedule. So starting in June to about the end of August, we'll start our Summer of Code 2013. And that's it, I think. Yes, so one thing I wanted to show you, just to give you an update of what we are doing here in the Bay Area, is our schedule, as I said. It has lots more. You'll see all these are all classes and things that we're doing. So we're doing much more than than one a quarter. We're doing sometimes a couple a quarter. But this just gives you an idea. The ones in blue are cities that we're going to that may not necessarily be Oakland-based, but we are going to do classes there. But the other ones are the classes that we were planning on doing here in the Bay Area. So the first one that we will be doing coming up is the STEM Game Challenge. We're doing this class in 3 cities. We're going to do here in Chicago and in Atlanta, hopefully in ThoughtWorks offices in those 3 cities. That will be a 6-week class. It will run 6 Saturdays, and the girls will actually build a game, enter it into a national competition, and they'll do connect via those 3 chapters to do it. Then we're headed the next week to South by Southwest. We're doing a workshop there and a couple of panels. Then we're coming back at the end of March, and we're doing our first Spanish class, bilingual class. We have partnered with Latino Startup Alliance, and we're doing a class, build a web page in a day. This should be a bilingual class. We're focusing on students in the Mission area, and we're going to do it at Meta. And the Mission, and you know, definitely want people to sign up to that. That is one target demographic that we find, you know, very limited, underrepresented in terms of getting this technology training. And so we really have been talking to LSA for about a year, almost a year, about making something happen with that. So we finally set a date. That's at the end of March. And our next class we'll come back and do, hopefully with Mozilla in May. We'll do another web making class and use some web native video with that particular class. And that gets us into the summer. And then here you see, after the summer, we have 2 summer camps on deck. One in Oakland, one in San Francisco. This year we did 1 summer camp. It was here in San Francisco, and it was robotics. And it was extremely successful. So we want to build on that, do 1 in Oakland for our Oakland kids, 1 in San Francisco, and then that brings us into the second half of the year, where we'll start over looking at doing the HTML5 workshop, then coming back and doing our core programming, and ending the year with robotics. And all of these, especially the ones this way, we can change. We have flexibility. So one of the things you'll see when we do sign up is that we have a curriculum committee, we have a chapter committee, all these that you can sign up for. So we're really looking for people to jump in. You know, if there are things that you think would be compelling for the kids that we should be teaching, please join the curriculum committee, help us to build that content so that we can get it out to the girls. The San Francisco chapter, we really think that we should be like the crown jewel of the BGC chapters all abroad, and really kind of set the pace over here in the Bay Area. So that's just what we think. So we just feel our chapter should kind of lead the way. And so we want people to really join in, you know, be creative. If there's something, you know, that we can do that, you know, or make these classes more compelling for the girls, we welcome any suggestions that you have.
So we are looking for technical and non-technical volunteers. When I say non-technical, that's more working with organizing the volunteers, being a community manager, reaching out to volunteers, doing marketing, possibly PR, going to schools, doing some business development and things like that. Grant writing is always very needed and welcome. And then technical is if you have that background, and if you're from an organization and you know your company's looking to participate in an organization like ours, definitely you can contact me or Kimberly, more likely me, and I'll give it to Kimberly, and definitely help us grow in any way possible. So thank you. If you have any questions, let us know. We have the volunteer sheets in the back.
Any questions before we break into network? Anybody have any questions? Right up to that. You guys did fun. Yeah.
What made you want to do this?
Kill me. So my daughter Kai is sitting right back in the audience, and that really was my motivator. She's 14 now, but 2 years ago when I was originally thinking about starting BGC, as a mom, moms can kind of understand. My daughter was consistently, like they say girls don't play games, but she really does play games, lots of games, you know. Halo, you name it. I don't even know all the name of those games. But she's like a heavy gamer. And I was annoyed by all this heavy gaming and consistently having to buy these games or her on the computer with the games. And I was looking for something for her, particularly to learn how to do something productive with the computer. I found the class down at Stanford and enrolled her in it, and it was just life-changing. So she could finally understand she could create things with the games, and it kind of really hooked her, so that, you know, that kind of changed her ideal career path from, you know, understanding that she just wanted to be a video game tester, and I'd be like, tester, you can create the video game. She had no clue until she took that class, and now, you know, that's changed her whole career perception. But one of the things that I noticed when I took her to that class, she was, I think, out of a class of about 30 students, maybe there were 3 girls in that class, maybe 3 girls in that class, and she was the only student of color in the class. And so it was sort of devastating that, you know, this amazing class, and then the kids were not there to take advantage of it. It was heartbreaking. And so